Welcome to Strictly Facts, a guide to Caribbean history and culture, hosted by me, Alexandria Miller. Strictly Facts teaches the history, politics, and activism of the Caribbean and connects these themes to contemporary music and popular culture. Welcome, Strictly Facts fam, and a happy first day of June, which also means we're celebrating Caribbean American Heritage Month and bringing you more stories about Caribbean history and culture at home and in the diaspora all month long. We thought what better way to kick off Caribbean American Heritage Month than with a little discussion of labor history, inspired by Sir Randol Fawkes and Sir Randol Fawkes Day, otherwise known as Labor Day, celebrated in the Bahamas on June 3rd. Sir Randol Francis Fawkes was the youngest of 5 children born to Edward and Mildred Fawkes on March 20th, 1924 in Nassau. He attended government high school and, though unable to attend university, went on to learn and study from one of the first Black lawyers on the island, T. Augustus Tute. Fawkes was politically active from early on, petitioning for the establishment of a court of appeals, for a greater Black representation on official boards to the Governor General, as well as calling for the Bahamas to be affiliated with the University of the West Indies. Sir Fawkes was even called to the board in 1948 at the age of 19. The decade that followed marked a series of critical movements for the budding labor and civil rights activists. In 1951, Fawkes married Jacqueline Bethel, staunch activist and supporter of labor rights, and he helped to conceive of the idea and found the People's Penny Savings Bank. In 1954, Fawkes defended a civil servant who was accused of stealing from the Post Office Savings Bank. When the court returned a guilty verdict, Fawkes publicly scolded the Chief Justice, which led to a 2-year suspension from the bar. He and Lady Fawkes spent the 2 years in voluntary exile in the U.S., where they were witnesses to Black protest demonstrations during the early civil rights movement, including the 1954 visit of Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie in Harlem. Fawkes returned to the Bahamas and quickly gained the support of the Black working class in the hopes of overthrowing the minority white elite through his founding of the Bahamas Federation of Labor. Fawkes was also a member of the Magnificent Six, members of the newly formed Progressive Liberal Party who were voted into the House of Assembly by popular vote on July 8, 1956. Fawkes held this post alongside Cyril Stevenson, Clarence A. Bain, Lyndon Pidling, Milo Butler, and Samuel Isaacs. Rooted in supporting workers' rights and Black enfranchisement, Fawkes, the Bahamas Federation of Labor, and the Progressive Liberal Party had begun to gain immense notoriety across different islands in the archipelago. Fawkes helped to lead the taxicab union in a general strike against white tour companies in 1957, resulting in constitutional reforms on labor and the establishment of a labor department. In 1958, Fawkes went to Stafford Creek in Andros to support exploited workers. After being stopped by white employers on the property, Fawkes encouraged the workers to meet him on the beach and discuss workers' rights. Fawkes was initially charged with trespassing and told he was barred from holding any more mass meetings. His refusal eventually increased the charge to sedition. Getting word of the events in the U.S., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. visited the Bahamas in November 1958 in support of Fawkes and the growing labor movement. During this time, the now hailed father of labor had also petitioned the House of Assembly to establish Labor Day as a public holiday. What initially began as a Labor Day parade by the Bahamas Federation of Labor in 1956 was eventually enacted as a public holiday on May 2, 1960, and officially celebrated 2 years later, hailing the holiday, and I quote, "a fitting memorial to the contributions made by the working people to the progress of the colony," end quote. Sir Fawkes's political and labor activism continued throughout the 1960s, including his fight for full internal self-government and being the first parliamentarian to issue a motion for Bahamas to become independent in 1966. One of Fawkes's most remembered roles came in the 1967 general election. The House of Assembly had historically been controlled by the white elite, who formed the United Bahamian Party, otherwise known as the Bay Street Boys. During the election on January 10th, 1967, the House of Assembly had been equally divided, with 18 seats elected to both the white United Bahamian Party and the Black Progressive Liberal Party. Sir Fawkes, representing the Labor Party, issued his swing vote in support of the PLP, making the newly elected government a Black majority rule for the first time in Bahamian history, with Fawkes eventually serving as the Minister of Labor and Commerce. Sir Randol Fawkes resigned from active politics in the 1970s, but continued to be a staunch human rights advocate and supporter of fair government until he passed away on June 15, 2000. In 2013, the House of Assembly voted to rename Labor Day in his honor, in addition to the annual commemoration for labor unions via parade in Nassau. In October of the same year, it was also voted that January 10th would be observed as a public holiday, Majority Rule Day, in tribute to the 1967 election and the local activism for equal government representation. And lastly, on November 19th, 2020, Sir Randol Fawkes was posthumously conferred as a national hero in the Bahamas. Given the amazing legacy of Sir Randolph Francis Fawkes, what would be a new episode of Strictly Facts without a little Strictly Facts sounds? For more information on the life and legacy of Sir Fawkes, you have to check out his memoir, The Faith That Moved a Mountain, and the Sir Randol Fawkes Trailblazer short film, both of which include photographs, quotes, and even personal reflections from family and friends on Sir Fawkes's immense contribution to Bahamian and Caribbean history. Well, that's all for now, Strictly Facts fam. Thank you as always for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. Little more. Thanks for tuning in to Strictly Facts. Visit strictlyfactspodcast.com for more information from each episode. Follow us at Strictly Facts Pod on Instagram and Facebook, and at Strictly Facts PD on Twitter.